Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. Sorry, I had a little itch in my ear there, but all I can say is, I know I just got over my allergy thing. As you saw in one of my other videos, I did the top 10 Gary Busey movies. I was a little sick with allergies and was a little under the weather and things like that. But of course, I'm over that now. But I eventually found out that my buddy got me a bag of goodies. I told him I was a little under the weather, and basically he said, you know, let me cheer you up with some goodies. So he got me a big bag of goodies, and I have no idea what these things are yet, except for one, which I'm going to show here. Of course, you saw this in the Gary Busey video. Unfortunately, the bag was like filled to the brim, and this was on top. So, unfortunately, this is one of the ones I actually I saw, but I couldn't do anything about it because the bag was like filled to the brim. This was on the very top. But he got me the first Lethal Weapon film, which is really nice. So I never owned any of the Lethal Weapon films before, and this is a good start to my collection for the Lethal Weapon films. So I'm really glad that he got me the first film. So that was really nice, because I showed this in the Gary Busey video. But just set that aside here. But that was like the only one I saw that he got me. So there was nothing I could do about that because it was on the top of the bag. But I have no idea what all these other ones are, so let's get started on what he got me. This was a really surprising thing. Like I said, I was not expecting this. Hey, but he said, you know, to cheer you up a little bit under the weather, I see, and let me get you some goodies. So he got me some goodies, so let's see what he got me. I'm going to do the same thing when I reach back. Let's see. He's like, I'm feeling 3 Blu-rays here. Let's see what they are. Oh, wow. I was actually thinking about getting this down the line at some point. I was probably going to wait until Christmas to get this on Blu-ray, but thanks to him, now I have it. The Scream Factory release of Tales from the Crypt Demon Night, which is very awesome. Thank you so much. I was waiting to get this for Christmas, but now thanks to him, I now have it. So this is one of my personal favorite horror films from the 90s. Love this film a lot. Love Tales from the Crypt Demon Night. And thanks to him, I now have the Shout Factory release. Let's see what we got here. A newer film from this year that I really did enjoy. It's probably my favorite horror film of the year so far. Hereditary. This is a really great modern-day horror film. It's a really good, USA Today says it all right here, a modern-day horror masterpiece. Really enjoyed this film a lot. Love this film. Without that, my favorite horror film of the year so far. Love Hereditary. So thanks to him, I now have it on Blu-ray. I think this is the last of the Blu-rays here. Oh, wow. 2 Bruce Willis films in one set on Blu-ray. It's the double feature of Mercury Rising and The Jackal. I did have both of these films on DVD, but now I have them on Blu-ray, and they actually are on their separate Blu-ray. They're not on just one Blu-ray. They actually have their own separate Blu-ray, which is really nice. I'm going to keep the DVDs though, because this Blu-ray doesn't have all the features from the DVDs of these. So I'll be keeping the DVDs as well, because there's a lot of stuff on here that are not. There's a lot of stuff on the DVDs that is not on this, but really nice to have both these films on Blu-ray for my Bruce Willis collection. So thanks so much. Yeah, I think that's all the Blu-rays. Now these are all DVDs. This first DVD. Well, I should say the second DVD, because I already saw the Lethal Weapon one, but I never had this film because because the only thing I could find was the unrated version, which I didn't want the unrated version. I was just trying to find the theatrical version. I didn't think finding the theatrical version was possible, because I had a hard time finding a copy of the theatrical version. But now, thanks to him, I now have the theatrical version. Dumb and Dumber. Really happy to have the theatrical version of this. Because the unrated version is not really much to run home about, but I much prefer just having the theatrical version. I saw both versions, and I like the theatrical version better. And this cover's a lot better on it, too. But Dumb and Dumber. Thanks to him, I now have it. Oh boy. This is a film that I've never seen before. I've heard some stuff about this film. Jawbreaker. Which is basically from what I hear, it's kind of like Mean Girls and like a mix with Heathers. I really like the cast there. Rebecca Gayheart, Rose McGowan, Julie Benz, Judy Greer, even Pam Grier and Carol Kane are in the film. Yeah, but if anybody's seen this film, let me know what you think of this, because I've never seen the film. But Jawbreaker. One of my personal favorite childhood films growing up as a kid. Angels in the Outfield. Really happy to own this film. Even though I'm not an Angels fan, I'm a big Phillies fan, as you can tell by the background. But I always loved this film growing up as a kid. We were watching this film on VHS a lot. And really, really great cast. Yeah, not only do you have Danny Glover as the manager, but you also have Tony Danza, Christopher Lloyd, Ben Johnson, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, well before, Joseph Gordon-Levitt on the back, well before The Dark Knight Rises, among other stuff. Even have early appearances by people like Matthew McConaughey, Adrian Brody, and you also have, I believe, what's his name? Tiny Lister Jr. I think that's his name. I think that's the right actor, but he's in the outfield. Let's see. Next one here is one of my favorite video game type movies, Tomb Raider. This is actually the first Tomb Raider. I was actually trying to find this for the longest time, but I can only find the sequel, and I'm not a fan of the sequel, but I really do enjoy the first film, and thanks to him I now have the first film on DVD. There's a lot of features on this too, tons of stuff on it. This is directed by Simon West before he did Expendables 2, and Simon West also did Con Air, I believe. I think he did Con Air, but really enjoyed the first Tomb Raider. Let me put the ones that I already showed here. Make it easier. So the next one is... This is a film I was trying to find too, but I can only find the sequels, and the sequels are not good. I only wanted the first one. Major League. One of my personal favorite sports films of all time. Love this film. Really great cast too. You have Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, Corbin Burnson, Dr. Feinstein himself, the dentist. Rene Russo, and you also have Wesley Snipes in this film. What's funny is Wesley Snipes is one of the stars of the film, but he's like nowhere. He's like not even like really featured on the he's not like in the cast credits, like in the main credits and all that stuff. And Wesley Snipes is one of my personal favorite parts of the movie, but really enjoyed Major League. I'm glad to have that one. I can only find the sequels, which I'm not a fan of, but now I have the first one, thanks to him. Right here we got... Oh, wow. to add to my John Candy collection. The Great Outdoors. I always thought this was a really fun film. Him and Dan Aykroyd are really great together. Directed by Howard Deutsch. Now, I know that name sounds familiar. I can't remember what he directed off the top of my head. I'm sure when I look it up later, I'm like, oh yeah, I know him. But Great Outdoors. Let's see what we got here. Oh wow. This was another film too that I never thought I would ever find. I always had trouble finding this film. Now thanks to him I have it. It's one of the more underrated Eddie Murphy films. That's Metro. Metro was kind of like another way of like another Beverly Hills Cop. But I really do think this is way better than Beverly Hills Cop 3. But yeah, Michael Rappaport, Michael Wincott, and I think, did I read that right on the? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but the Metro. Now I have this for my Eddie Murphy collection. I think I'm going to show one more, then I'm going to stop for part 2. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. I'll show one more here. Oh wow. This is another film I had a really hard time finding as well. But now thanks to him I have it. The Relic. Another one of my personal favorite horror films from the 90s. For my Peter Hyams collection. Because I'm a big fan of Peter Hyams as a director. I did my top 10 favorite Peter Hyams films. This was on there. Now thanks to him I have it on DVD. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm going to stop for part 1 right here, and I'll see you guys in part 2.